morning, everyone. My name is Anna Tatarian with Rise Realty. I am the office operations manager. And this morning, it is Wednesday, April 13th. And we do have a great presentation for you guys here. We have Andrew Gavin with Tried and True. He is going to be speaking about how giving back can help grow your business. So, Andrew, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, thank you. Hey, so I'm Andrew Gavin. I actually run the Tried and True Home Loans division for Travis. And about back in 2015, I started a project with the intent to help grow my business. And 7 years later, we're very close to awarding 1,000 students with brand new bikes and helmets. And it's been an awesome journey. I've learned a ton. It's completely shifted multiple times throughout the 7 years. And what I wanted to share with you guys is something like sharing your passion and being authentic and real within your business as well really can help attract what would be considered your ideal client. Because when you share things like this, especially projects you're passionate about, that's when that real authenticity is going to come through. And most likely, if you're passionate about something, there's going to be other people in your sphere that you meet, business colleagues across the board that are going to connect with you based on that. And that's really what this presentation is about. Your passion project and your business, these two can coexist together very well. It can be done completely wrong too, and come across as bragging or as begging. And so hopefully throughout this presentation, you'll learn a little bit about how I present stuff. I'll share some things that I don't like, that just, and everyone does this different. So the idea here is for you to see, get some ideas about having and sharing your passion projects, about adding a mission to your business, and then hopefully sharing the two together. All right, so building your brand and your business by sharing your passion. So my big thing is riding bikes. My wife and I spend most of our weekend, probably 10 plus hours every weekend out on our tandem together. And we ended up, previous to my current real estate business, I owned a bike shop. I worked as a sales manager and team liaison for multiple brands. I've traveled the whole country, all over North America, working with different bike shops and bike teams and elite athletes. And so when my wife told me that she thought it would be great for us to pick up trash on the beach when we retire, I immediately thought to myself, I have no interest in that at all. That's a great project. It needs to be done. Picking up trash and cleaning up the community. Those are really powerful things that, people give back all the time. I have no interest in it. I have no passion for that. Within probably 2 weeks, I created the skeleton of what Bikes for Kids is today. And I brought it to her and I said, look, I do want to do something with you, but I don't want to pick up trash. How about we figure out if we can if we can reward students for doing a good job with a new bike and see if they learn to enjoy cycling like we do. So the idea of branding your business with your passion or your mission, and I'm going to switch to just calling it a mission because that's really what it should be. But it's about showing people that you're more than a salesperson just chasing a commission. You're giving back to help kids, to help fight cancer, to, save animals or trees or the ocean or, anything like that, that you're actively doing events or different things, but it's all about, really giving back to the community, and, which definitely changes the way that you can be, you're thought of. And where I believe this comes into play a lot is maybe not at the initial, I just met someone and they're going to do business with me because I gave to a cancer fund, or I had a pet adoption event. But what happens is if you have past clients, which we'll talk about, and they're in a conversation with someone, it's gonna, I believe it kind of goes like this, because they want to sell you in that way. Everyone wants to sell you on the idea of the person that they're giving a referral to. And it's like, oh, my loan guy or my real estate agent was amazing. They got us exactly what we needed. It was fun too. And what's really cool is every time he does something with his business, he gives to this bike charity, and he gives bikes away to kids. He's given away almost 1,000 bikes. You should call him. So that this kind of branding of your mission gets used by your clients when they're talking about you, because they want to sell you. They want whoever they're referring you to be excited as they are. And that's where this becomes highly powerful, in my opinion. So show people that you're more than a salesperson chasing a commission by just supporting a cause that you're passionate about. And passionate is important because that's when I think that little change in your voice, that excitement, the idea behind it comes through well. You can probably hear my voice right now. I'll bet you Anna, and Travis both will say I sound a little bit different than I did on my presentation yesterday. Because this is definitely exciting for me. So finding something you're passionate about does two things. It allows you to talk about it more. It gets you excited when you're going to talk about it, but it also helps you keep pushing forward for the long haul, because you want this to not be a one and done campaign. You want this to become basically part of your co-branded existence. The second thing, give back when your business does well. This is a very important piece that I'll talk about later. There's a lot of companies, probably one that you guys will be very familiar with is Subaru. They run a campaign for at least 6 weeks around Christmas, talking about how if you buy a car from them, they'll give $250 to X, Y, or Z charity. And they've been doing that for years. And then later on, usually they'll start posting at the same time that they've donated over 2, 3, 4 million, whatever that number is, back to these communities. Giving back when your business does well is important. So that is a key piece to sharing the two together, is you want it to be about both doing well. The third thing is creating a group or turning your sphere of influence into supporters. With my project, I took everybody that's interested, everybody that's paid attention, everybody that's ever donated, come to any of our events, and I've added them into a page on Facebook, a group email blast that I push out, and I send those guys specific information. They're part of my tribe. They're in this with me. So now I'm not even in this alone anymore, even though my wife and I run our project almost 100% on our own. But the reason for doing that with our business is that, I have, I think 400 different people in there, and they're all represented as kind of the same person, as equals. A lot of them are family. Some are business colleagues. There's probably 10 to 15% of that group is past clients or people that I believe I might do business with. So none of them know the difference, though. They're all getting the same message. They're not singling out. Which is one of the things I don't believe in, is client appreciation events or parties. Those are great ideas, but I'm more of a fan of turning that same exact event into a fundraising event for my mission. And by doing that, now I can invite my whole sphere of influence, my past clients. People can do what they want, but they're not there for because they bought a house with me or did a loan with me or you. They're there because of this third party, external cause, saving cancer, helping kids, helping animals. So very, very different mindset. And most likely I'm going to show up for that because it's not about me closing a deal with this real estate agent. The fourth thing, sharing the milestones as you get closer to reaching your goal. So if you have a goal, if you're trying to raise $1,000, 2,000, 5,000, share those milestone, benchmarks. I can't believe it. We just got $100 donation from a friend. I was talking about my goal here with three of my friends, and two of them just stepped up and said, you know what, I want to support you. Let me help you right now. And they gave me donations. Sharing those things, pictures, videos, anything that you can, it's all powerful. And it ties together seamlessly, because over time, your business and your charity mission will intertwine, because they're going to be both constantly talked about by you, in random for the whole year. It's just gonna. You don't have to tie them together all the time. I do this for my business. I want more business. Anything like it just becomes two things that automatically get put together. Like the idea of when I say Google, you can picture the colored logo. It's a lot. That's what branding really is. The fifth thing, inviting your supporters to help with your passion. So this is really important. So as you're going through talking about your project, your mission, and what you're doing, you always want to have a call to action that says, hey, if this is something you want to get involved in, reach out to me, give me a call. I want to help you get involved too. This is highly powerful ways to get more support and to get you and your business opportunity to find out who's paying attention, who might want to talk more about your passion project, and then allowing you to also shift that conversation, because it almost always will, to how's business? How is their business? How is your business? Have you considered this? Getting that by getting your supporters involved, getting them to donate with you, to support their time, all those things. Now, what else happens is they're going to also help you share your message, which now you're marketing to their audience as well. And it ties back to you. And you potentially could get 1, 2, 3 more supporters throughout the year, potentially getting business from any of them. These are all, and when you think about this, these are considered, in my opinion, they're definitely opportunities for you to potentially create business, because they're like warm leads that aren't necessarily specific to, I need this house or I'm looking for this type of loan, but they are warm leads that allow you to start building a relationship. Number 6, having events, inviting your whole sphere of influence. This goes back to my comment about, not spending your business money on client appreciation parties, because truth is, those are boring, they're weird, they're awkward. The only thing you talk about is doing business, and that's not what you want. You want if you're going to have an event, you want that event to have a good experience for whoever shows up. Think back, if you've ever gone, you have friends that have a regular party all the time, and you feel obligated to go to it versus excited to go to it. And the difference between those two is, when you feel obligated, most likely the event itself might not be that fun. And that's what you want to avoid. That you want this event to just be fun, interesting, a regular event that any past client, potential new client, referral partner, or your friends and family could have a fun, good time at. And by them being there, it's opening up the opportunity for you to also either briefly there or in the future reach out to them and talk about business. they've shown interest, and they're getting updates about what you're doing. So these are six ideas about, how to kind of get away from just being a salesperson when you're calling them and chasing a commission to being more of a philanthropist mindset. Next thing is ideas for using your passion project to increase your business. So here's probably the simplest thing that you could start with is, and you've probably seen this all over Facebook, when someone's birthday comes up, there's tons of charities that have set up systems where you can say, this is the charity I'm supporting this year. I'd love it if for my birthday, if you would donate any amount of money. And those are automatic or set up. The money goes straight to those things. That's a great opportunity to show that you're a giving person, that you're trying to help the community, but it tends to be more of a one and done event, which is in our business, real estate loans. We know that if we do, if we send out postcards to a farm neighborhood once a year, we're probably not going to get a good impact on the return of that effort. Another idea is, this is very common. This goes back to that Subaru thing. Let your clients know that, when they close a home purchase or sale with you, a loan, any type of business, that you're going to donate a portion of that commission to the charity of their choice. Now, you can do this as simple as just doing that. You can create a reusable giant check, which we see a lot. You can, there's lots of ways to spin this up and make it a little bit more exciting and more interesting to share. But it is a very simple way to just add a small piece of giving back to the community with your business. And because this is a client transaction, it does directly tie you to your business. This, for me, is probably my least favorite in the way of when it's used as lead generation. Like that's using the Subaru, that one, it annoys me. And it's funny because my wife will say, she'll tease me how much I harp on this, but I don't feel like Subaru is being as charitable as they come across, because they're saying, I'm only going to give this $250 if you buy a car from me. And for me, that's not even them being charitable. Absolutely, it's their $250 of profit that they are giving away, but they're saying you've got to do something for me before I make a charitable contribution. And I think for me being a smaller individual, I can't get away with that so much. So, but I do like this idea, and I do use this when I'm already talking to my clients, or again, in that kind of follow-up, in a closing update situation. Hey, we're going to do this. Now that we're at closing, I wanted to let you know that every time we have a closing, we donate $200 to a charity that you're fond of. What would that be? Great. And then you create that check, you do that thing. That's a way that I enjoy this a little bit more. And that's just me. You guys can do it however you want, but it is a very simple way to tie your business back to giving back or to a specific charity. But this is generally more client directed, their charity, about them one time, the one time they did that, the transaction with you. So you can also support annual events. And this gets a little bit more long-term. Let your clients, let your sphere of influence, let your whole audience know what you're doing. And some ideas, might be, hey, there's a pet adoption coming up. The whole world loves pets. And people that don't like dogs, they might like cats or hamsters or birds or whatever. And usually they don't like there's a lot of people that don't want pets at home, but they love them, so pet adoption and these ideas are really good. These are going on all the time. Now, you can also, one of the things that you can do here is there's probably a pet adoption event going on in your community. And what you want to do is you want to go and sponsor that and then use that as your own. Market it as your own. Use it the same exact way, but you're not handling any of the donations, any of the work. You're basically giving up your time, maybe to be there, to have some conversations, but it's happening regardless if you're there or not, which is a nice way to manage your time and still get involved with something. Another thing that's really common, we see this all the time, breast cancer month. I believe that's February. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I think it is February, but now you've got 30 days to share different updates with your sphere of influence, your audience, your clients, your past clients, all that about what you're going to do, this month because it's breast cancer month. If you have a family member that's been affected by this, my mother-in-law had breast cancer. It's a fear that my wife has. We honestly don't do anything with this month, but it would make sense if we did, because it hits home, and sharing that story, because this affected my mom in this way. I'm a really big advocate of breast cancer month. Here's how you could get involved. Even if you put out 4 of those posts a month, turn that into 6 posts, because you're going into, if you go 2 or 3 posts leading up to breast cancer month, now you've got 6 to 8 different opportunities to share information from you, from your business, to your audience that isn't necessarily a market update, trying to get a referral, anything else. It's about you being a good person giving back to the community. November, so tie that in together. So every November, a lot of guys will try and grow a mustache. I could never grow a mustache at all. I can do pretty good with some sideburns, but you can see right now my facial hair is just a mess. But this is a great one, and it's kind of goofy. I've seen people that have parties that have turn it into a game. Who grew the best mustache? All that money goes to charity, different things like that. So these are things that exist out in the world already that you can adopt and as your own, and use those topics to create opportunities to show that you're giving back, that this is an important cause to you, and it gives you content to share with your group of supporters, your audience, throughout the month or year. But the most important thing that I think that what I'm talking about is creating your own passion project, creating a mission that you and your business are working to support. For me and my wife, that's our Bikes for Kids project. Everything that I do, when I get an opportunity, I talk about how, I had a great month of closings this month, which allowed me to donate enough money to get 12 kids bikes this coming year. So that's how I tie that together. And that turned into, if I do it that way, it allows me to share to the general public. It also allows me to go back to that 3, 4, 5 closings, whatever it might be, and market right back to those past clients. Now those past clients are saying, okay, I closed this deal. That got the price of the house that I got, whatever it was, allowed me to donate 3 bikes to kids that are going next year. And that's what the message they're going to share. Hey, use my guy. He was great. He got me a good rate. We closed fast. And then when we closed, he took some of his money and bought bicycles for 3 kids. That's a pretty strong referral. I'm going to give that guy a call. He sounds like a decent human being. But so here's a couple things. If you're going to build your own mission, figure out what you're passionate about. This is probably the most important piece, because that passion is going to drive you through the hard times, because there will be some, and help you talk more excited about this mission whenever you're doing anything related to it, fundraising, having an event, talking to clients, any of that. You can create within that, having your own mission. Now you're going to want to create both short-term and long-term messaging strategies for, and this is because you're going to have different important milestones throughout the year, potentially leading up to one bigger event. You know, you want to develop ways to get people involved. So, you know, get your past clients, get your friends, get your family, create opportunities for new random people that are just out in the world that might be interested in your passion project, and bring those in. Because if you can, now you're using this mission, this kind of entity over here, saving the planets, you know, fighting cancer. You could potentially be the go-to realtor for everybody involved with the idea of fighting cancer, because they know how hard how passionate you are about that and what you do to help fight cancer. And they've realized that you also do real estate and they need some help, you know. So again, now, part of your messaging and your content creation and why this is important. Now you're sharing progress, you're celebrating milestones, and you're not bragging about you got 9 closings. Instead you're saying, look, you know, I had a great month. It was so good. We were able to donate enough money from our business to get 9 kids bikes, you know, to get to save, to feed 37 families in Africa, to, you know, whatever that might be. And that's how you kind of tie those together without making it a bragging about, you know, I sold this house in 2 days. Those don't win the favor of anybody. But sharing that your business helped you, you know, help the community fight cancer, something like that. That's powerful and memorable. You know, so the next one, become the person that does X. You want that. This is basically branding 101. You want to be known for what your mission is, you know. Connect your business with your mission. Like I just kind of explained, you know, you're tying together things that you do in your business with this mission. And you're going to share both simultaneously, back to back, one after the other. And over the time, as you build up content and you just continually talk about this, when opportunity comes up, someone that goes to your Facebook, you know, profile, your business page, they're going to see, you know, good month of closings. You went to this educational seminar. You're offering this promo. You donated 7 bikes. You know, you have a new program. You donated 9 bikes. And it's just over the time, that's just going to be post after post, mixing the two, your mission with your business. The last thing here, let everyone know, and this is important, everyone know that when your business does well, that you can support your mission. So, you know, the idea of, if there should never be a concern that, you know, if your business does better or doesn't, that you can either give more or less money. So, you know, let people know. And I like this, you know, I took this from one of my current partners who's a lawyer, and he had already committed to donating a certain amount of money. And we were sharing some of the other things that we were doing. And he said, look, I want to be involved in all that. But then he paused for a moment. He said, look, he goes, one of the things that's important is my branding and where I'm at and how I can be visible within all these things. Because when we close cases and win money and my business does better, I'm able to support the community more. Now, this particular lawyer is involved in, I mean, if I had to guess, he probably gives back a couple $100,000 a year in community support. So I know that's true. And when you look at it, if you're the general public watching his profile and what he does, you're going to be like, man, this lawyer does a lot for the community. But he points out when he's going to give to me, or he's involved with somebody, he points that out. Hey, when my business does better, I can help help your mission and my mission even more financially. And what that translates to again is, if I'm involved with him, or if you have someone involved with you because of your mission, they're going to become referral advocates for you, because now you explain to them, if you close more deals, you give more money to the cause. And it doesn't cost them anything to refer a person that they believe in, that is fighting for the same cause as them and does a good job, with a service that is needed by one of their other friends. And that's how this works in the way of using your passion or your mission with a business. So here's some ideas. Create your own passion project. Like I said, I call it the mission. Our mission right now, for the last 7 years, our mission has been to reach 1,000 bikes. We want to give away 1,000 bikes. Each of the last 7 years, I update, hey, we're about to hit 500. We're at 650. It looks like we could potentially hit, with your help, we could potentially reach 1,000 bikes in just 2 more years. Here's how you donate, So we created that mission, Bikes for Kids. I made a goofy logo. I have a website. This has there's a Facebook page. I post everything there. I add everybody that I know to ask them to like and share it. It's a third party. It's about a charity. It's about kids. I'd never post business stuff on there unless it's just a mention in a post. But so anybody that's involved with me or the Bikes for Kids project can, support this, and then they get updates, and then they're involved. I'm sorry. All right. So the next thing, once you have your mission, you're going to create a short-term and long-term messaging strategy. So updating your tribe. Everybody is now, you've just decided that everybody is going to support your mission. Maybe they do financially. Maybe they support you by never saying anything at all, just staying out of your way. Maybe they come to events. Maybe they donate. Maybe they share with you ideas that as a connector. I have a buddy that, every time he doesn't donate, he actually teases me about all the stuff that I send out, because he calls it, he says it's boilerplate stuff, because I buy 200 cards and send them to the same people, and whatever. But but what he does do is he's like, hey, I just found a connection for you to get bikes a little cheaper. I found a way for you to do this. That's helping me. He doesn't usually donate too much, but that's okay. He's doing what's comfortable for him, but he still gets the message. He's part of my tribe. He gets the update. He's obviously following along, seeing what we're doing, to the point of him realizing, if this guy can get me bikes cheap, I might be able to deliver more bikes to more kids. So the marketing piece and tying together of what my mission is with my business and my needs, it's still connecting with him, even though he didn't donate. So that's a nice, I point that out because sometimes you'll have people like that, but he's paying attention, which is nice. People are seeing what you're doing, even though they're not reaching out every time, So I do something monthly. We happen to award bikes at 13 different schools. We do the same city and the same schools every year. So I've developed over the 7 years a monthly update, goes out to everybody involved. I also do social posts and any and all updates connected to the mission as they come up. Okay, those go out to everyone in email, in Facebook posts, anything I can like that. I do a big campaign building up to a live event that we have. We have a big party at our house. We usually have about 150 people here in our backyard. We do a big taco party. We have a catered bar. It's kind of just a backyard, the closest thing I would think would be like almost like a wedding reception. But it's casual. It's at night. Just show up. You know, you can donate if you want. You're invited because you're a supporter of my group. More importantly, if you're inviting people you want at your house, you want to interact with. Maybe they're helping, maybe they're not. If they show up and they get in pictures and they're live, they are helping you, and they're probably people you like. So you do have control of that, and that I think that can turn what we might see as a client appreciation party that has 12 people to an event you put on for a cause that has 150 people, because your mom's there, your family, your cousins, your colleagues, people from the office, all your past clients, guys that are helping you in with your mission. So building up to a date is a good one. And that kind of ties together. But everyone wants to know. I share everything. I share goofy pictures about setting up my house, the work. I share updates on the work that it took me, because it does take us long. It takes me literally a full day to do all this stuff. But I turn that into hey, because I'm doing this all day for this event that I'm excited about, because I want every dollar that we raise to go to 100% to go to getting more kids on bikes. So I tie that together in a way that it's still for my mission, but it's just an update of me, carrying boxes of beer or ice or rearranging our backyard. But it is showing everybody that sees those. It's like, man, this guy is dedicated to this mission, and he's trying to save as much money as possible. Then after the celebration's over, I do updates. Hey, we raised $5,000 tonight. Here's a picture of 100 people that were here. And you share this. This is what we can do with this money. With $7,000, I can buy 62 bikes. That's a lot of bikes for kids that were doing stuff really good. So that's how that works. Develop ways to get involved. So, like I said, I have parties. We have a big fundraiser. We set up a GoFundMe page. That was our first couple of years. It was the easiest way to get electronic donations. And I'm still a fan of this if you tie it to this the right way. And I like to use things. Two things that I did is I use GoFundMe because people are familiar with that. They're comfortable donating money there, because that's always a scare. The other thing that I did is I attached our deliveries for our Bikes for Kids project goes through the Kiwanis Club that my wife is a part of, which allows us a 501c3 status. So people, if they need it, people and deserve it, people can get a tax write-off for their donation. It also allows us to use that 501c3 status to avoid paying tax on the bikes, which is right now almost 10%. And we buy about $12,000 worth of bikes. So it saves us, that alone saves me $1,200. I invite people to join the big events. I solicit businesses for sponsors. So, and this is unique to my project, but whatever you're doing, you can figure that same out. If you and your business are sponsoring a pet adoption, a cancer walk, whatever it might be, you can also go to other businesses and get them and say, hey, we're doing this. Would you like to donate with us? And then you market for them. And you highlight them as being responsible for the money that you were able to raise, which gets them now they've been highlighted. There's a very strong chance that they're also going to share that, expanding your audience of what you're doing, because you're the facilitator, and they're helping you reach that goal. And then for me, I invite people, as anybody, to our party, because I pay what I pay. It's kind of we get a taco cart, so we pay for a certain amount of tacos. They've never run out. We've never run out of alcohol. It just doesn't happen. So, and you want to invite everybody, because guaranteed, if you invite 1,000 people, you're probably still only going to get 200 people to show up. It's just the way it works. People are excited in the moment, but then life happens and they don't show up. Doesn't mean that they don't care about you or your project. It just means life didn't work out that way. And if it's the first one, they don't even know. They could be like, oh, I hate those things. I get paranoid when I have to go to like a sit down dinner award ceremony. Those things are painful most of the time, you know? So again, that goes back to that event has to be fun. Figure out how it can be as fun as possible. So, you know, sharing your progress and celebrating those milestones, you know. So every time I raised more money, I would share that, you know. When I added a new partner, a new, like this lawyer that I just added, you know, any company, anybody that donates up to a certain amount of money, if they have a business, I turn around and highlight their business, because now I get to, again, I'm sharing their business, giving them kudos, but most likely they're also going to share that. And people that like their business are going to potentially follow along, maybe call me for business, maybe support my mission, you know. When something good happens with your mission, you know, if I got a huge donation, you know, if you know, something else happened, we're getting closer to an event, you know, show your work. So like I said, this goes back to even me talking about sharing how I set up the day of event. Anything along that, hey, this is what I'm working on because it's going to happen at the end of the month, where I show, hey, I'll show a picture of Walmart when I go to order bikes. I'll show a picture of, you know, a pile of bikes in a room that's storing, waiting to get picked up, you know, things like that. Hey, look at this. This is what your donations allowed us to do. And you see a picture of all these bikes, you know. So creating your own project, becoming the person that does X. So this is me. I'm presenting to a Rotary Club. This Rotary Club gives us about $1,000 a year. But the most common thing that happens to me with especially people in this community, they're like, oh, you're the guy that gives bikes to kids. You know, they know me as that guy. They always reference that. You know, there's people that don't even know that I actually do real estate or loans, but they know that I'm the guy that gives away bikes to kids. And that's when you realize your branding has worked. And so by building it this way, you don't want to become only this guy. You want to be the realtor that gives bikes to kids. You want to be the loan officer that gives bikes to kids, or whatever your project is. But over time, if you share your business and your passion together, you're going to become a standout that you're the guy that does X. And that is highly powerful. And now, again, what you're not the guy, what they're not saying is, oh, don't work with him. All he cares about is getting his commission. They can't say that because you're the guy that does X. And, you know, so it completely changes the perception and the way that you're described. Connect your business with your mission. So these two things coming in right at the end are important, because you want it to be about the mission first, and you want to sort of loosely tie your business together at the end. You don't want to neglect your business being part of this. As again, if your business does well, it allows you more time and money to help drive your mission forward, you know. So this is basically what I do when I get to closing, or when we're finishing up, you know, with the client. It's really simple. Hey, one thing I wanted to mention to you guys is that when your loan closes, we'll be making a donation that will get 3 hardworking students a brand new bicycle and helmet. I'm also going to send you an invitation to our annual celebration fundraiser party. You're a VIP to that because you closed this deal with me. So they didn't realize that they were doing business with me because, you know, some kids were getting bikes. I've shared that with them at a point in the process that they're excited about. They're about to reach their goal. And then I share with them, hey, by the way, some of the money that I'm making, I'm gonna give to this project that I have. It's yours. But this is what's going to happen. 3 kids are going to be able to get a brand new bike and a brand new helmet. Now, it's never been a time that I can't say that anybody has said, "Oh, I don't care." They almost always ask, "What do you do? What do you mean? How do you pick these kids?" And then I get to talk about the project. And then I'm like, and they're like, "Okay, when's this event?" I go, "Look, we'll update you when it's up. It's usually in August. It's at our house. We can't wait to have you there." And then in that invitation, I say, "Hey, there's going to be 150 people here. Please bring, some friends or family that you think would also be supporters of getting bikes to kids. We're not expecting a donation, but we want you to have people there that you like to, interact with, because there's going to be a lot of people. I don't want you to be bored. Bring 2 or 3 friends." And almost always they do. And you know what? Then they talk to their friends. They talk to a few other people. Their friends talk to other people. Next thing I know, they're actually part of your tribe, and they know they meet your friends, your family. They somehow, a lot of times, they run into other past clients, and then they're interacting between one another. "Oh, he was great. He did this," and you're not even there, just reinforcing that you're a good person, you're good at your job, and you do more than just worry about getting a commission check. But this piece, again, the connecting of the business is 100% important, but it needs to be delivered, I think, as an afterthought, because you don't want to take away from the mission, because the mission is the reason for you to reach out with your communication. And so throughout the year, because of this project that I have, I communicate with my people, probably I'd say at least 36 times. So that which average 3 times a month. The typical by referral only, follow-up drip campaign that we have usually have, what do they suggest send something out on birthdays, on anniversaries, and every dumb holiday that exists, because and we know nobody wants to get the update that it's time to change your clock for daylight savings, but they really might want to know that, hey, you were able to help 32 puppies get adopted at your last pet adoption event. That's interesting, and it's useful. It's a heartwarming moment versus, "Oh, I can't believe this idiot told me that my clock needs to be updated. My iPhone does that by itself." So that's it. But again, and then, like I said, the last thing that's super critical is let people know, everyone, hey, when I have a good month, the nice thing about that is that it allows me to give more money and more time to my mission. If you know somebody that is, needing my services, send them my way. Let them know, because if I close another deal this month, I might be able to get 3 more kids' bikes. Now, that's the message that happens in the conversation in that referral situation. Oh, it's not, hey, go work with him, because he needs to give 3 more bikes away and he's trying to hit his goal. They don't do that. That just doesn't happen. But there's a good chance that, hey, it's going to spring up because, hey, they want to help kids too, or fight cancer, or puppies, or whatever your cause is. And they're like, "Oh man, my guys, you need to call my guy Andrew or Anahit or Travis. He's awesome. And you know what? I'm pretty sure that if you do close a loan, he's going to donate some money to this charity thing. So he's a great guy, and give him a call. Here's his information." But you're tying that together, and you're reinforcing to your referral partners that when your business does better, it allows you to give more, and they end up potentially referring you more because they want to help you give more versus help you make more income for the year. And that's where this becomes very powerful, and it is a critical piece of when and why you share your passion project, your mission, simultaneously with your business. So if you guys have questions, and you're live, I don't know how many people are on. I don't see that. You're welcome to ask now. If you want to reach out to me directly, my contact information is easily available, and I know that Travis will probably send this as a replay with my contact information there. If you want help setting up some project, you have something going, that would be awesome. And what Travis and I and Anahid and the management team of the brokerage, we're looking at the idea of creating a monthly, company mission, something that you all can get behind and support. You guys can share that. You can share the updates. You can do all the steps that we've talked about here. But what we want to do is we want to figure out within, we have about 150 people that are working under this brokerage, so out of that group, we can easily find something each month that one of our members is passionate about. So now, if 1 month is my project, because we do something in August, that's awesome. Maybe you guys support me. Hey, here's this project, Bikes for Kids. These guys are raising money to do this. My company's supporting. If you guys are interested, now you're pushing that out. In January or February, it could be, somebody that's, doing the breast cancer month, doing, a AIDS walk, there's just so many different causes that we can get behind. And if we tie that to even one of our agents or loan officers or Travis or management, then we have a personal story to share of why someone might want to get involved. So we're starting to get that going. We're going to push some stuff out, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, to start getting some ideas of what charities that and projects and missions that you guys are interested in, so we can figure out how we can turn around and tie our brokerage to a community supportive brokerage and allow you guys to have more content to talk about. So when people are considering working with a lender or a realtor from this brokerage, they realize you're also good humans that aren't just chasing a commission check.
Thank you, Andrew. Yes, I have to say that it is great to get out there, get involved with your community. I do it a lot as well. Even if I can't contribute back, I'm contributing back by volunteering and helping out the organization, or just getting involved with them also helps too. And I posted a lot on my social media when I'm volunteering or or doing something like that. So so it is great to get involved. I know there's a few charities out here in Fresno, like I believe Ronald McDonald is nationwide, but we have them here. We have a few other organizations. So
local's always better.
Yeah,
and that's always better. People tend to want to support you versus the cause.
Yeah,
but the cause is really the driving force of why they want to support you.
Yes.
In as a lender, as a realtor for since 2006, I've been involved in this industry. There's always conversations about bragging or sharing about things like this. And so let me give you a little example. So I happened to be in the hospital this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Part of our project has an essay attached to it for the older kids. The grade school kids get chosen by their administrators, but the older kids write an essay because we just don't know if they even want to bike. So they have to do a little bit of work. But I took snippets of the essays I was reading and shared those on social media, in the idea of, hey, this is what a 8th grader sees, when he thinks about getting a bike for himself, when he thinks about winning a bike, or what he knows about bike safety. And from posting over the weekend 4 different snippets from essays, I had people reach out to me in Messenger saying, hey, that was really tugging at my heart. I want to make sure that this kid gets a bike. One of the stories was that a boy wanted to win the bike so he could give his old bike to his cousin in Mexico.
Mm.
And I had two people were like, I specifically want to make sure that kid gets a bike. And I raised, and so I got $600 by the end of the weekend.
Yeah.
So, and they don't, and I didn't get a single comment that said, "Oh, you're not charitable. You're doing this to market your business." No one sees it that way,
Mhm.
And so I just, I think there's definitely a bad way that you can tie this together with your business. There always is,
Yeah.
but for the most part, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
There's always the comment of, if you're just charitable, just do it and don't tell anyone. The truth is, by sharing this stuff on social media, you create what I just shared with you is people see that, they're affected by that, and they want to take action. And that's the real reason that we share.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about, I'm going to get another closing.
Oh yeah.
I think if I look back, I've probably made 25 to 30 grand from business that's come from this. That's not a lot, but it's not money that I would walk away from. And it's generally people that keep helping me with this project and that are good humans that I like to be around.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah, I love posting and sharing it on social media. That way people can see that I am getting involved with my
Yep.
community, and helping out others in need, or just giving back to the community that I live in, and I've grown in. So and they love seeing that,
Yeah.
so that's why it's great to take pictures, share them, as you were saying, and
Yeah. We have a Facebook page that's 7 years old that has videos of these events. I mean, there, once you commit to it and you decide to adopt it, it
yeah,
really becomes a really cool thing that you can share. And you all, it's definitely time consuming. There's no question about it. And it does take a little bit of money. We spend probably $1,500 to $2,000 on our party. But every time I have that party, we also raise about 5 to 7 grand.
yeah,
So I have a party which we would probably have anyways because that'd be fun. And then we tie it to this thing, and so I put 2 grand in to have this event that allows me to raise 2 to 3 times as much money.
yeah,
Now, it wouldn't work that way if I just dumped, 2 grand into some sort of, campaign to raise money. I probably wouldn't even come close to that. But I also wouldn't have the relationships or the experiences, that I have because of the way we do this.
yeah,
Um, so there's a lot of opportunities. If you guys want, if you have questions on this, have ideas, I'm happy to help. Because this is a huge thing for us all as humans, as well as it's a great way to help build our business and be known as someone that's giving back to the community with their business income.
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna bounce. I gotta go to a doctor's appointment.
Okay, thank you,
Thank
Andrew
you.
and Travis. So we'll see you guys all on Monday. So stay tuned. Right, bye. Thanks.